Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the Two of Wands, which has everything to do with dominion. The Two of Wands is also fire in its highest aspect, right? So this is a very passionate, very creative, very fertile energy, okay? All right, and let's go ahead. We're going to take a look and see what these tea leaves are going to show us. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. All right, so it feels like we have maybe a grumpy family member. And kind of you being put in a position of having to kind of be the go-between, or maybe like, I don't know, like you're trying to smooth things over with two people in the family. Okay, so we have a person here. We have, it looks like two animals fighting each other. So it tells me that it's just been like arguing, posting. The thing that came to mind was posting stuff on social media, arguing, fighting, outing each other, you know, just going completely at it in public, which is like whatever. We're all, it's not as, you know, 15 years ago to see that would have been like, whoa, look at this family just like putting it all out there on the internet, right? That's weird. Now it's the norm. You just like keep scrolling. You're like, oh, ooh, what's going on here? Okay. And then you keep scrolling. So I feel like it's not super shocking, but it's, you know, it's disruptive to everybody. It's disrupting the family, the harmony, right? And we are in the holiday season, right? Not just Christmas. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a lot of holidays going on, right? A lot of festivals, a lot of reasons to celebrate both, right? The winter and the summer. I know, I don't forget about you down there in the south of the equator. But yeah, I do. I think that this time of year, we all have somebody in the family that is feeling kind of sour. But we do also have, I don't know, it seems like an outside energy from this. I feel like the people that are kind of in this conflict are younger. Okay, I would even think maybe these are like your children's generation, or, you know, like nephews and nieces, or something like this. This is a younger crowd. Now, there's somebody older than you, and I think that that's maybe like maybe within your generation, but I don't know. It might be like your parents, like one of your parents, or maybe this is an aunt or uncle, or, you know, something like this. But it feels like, and I'm looking at this person here. This is them right here. And they have like a little kind of, yeah, like a grimace. We also have the goat. And I'm not going to say an old goat, but we do have, yeah, maybe they're a Cancer. Maybe there's somebody that's just really stubborn, right? But I feel like this is like it's like the Suffer Olympics, right? Have you ever heard that before? We don't need to have the Suffering Olympics. So it's like when you know, you're at like a family thing and everybody's talking about their ailments from the last 6 months or whatever, and comparing like how bad everybody has it, and it just gets worse and worse, and somebody has to have it worst of all, right? And these are the Suffer Olympics. So this is like the habitual one-upper, but it's not like, oh, you did well this year, oh, your business is thriving, well, mine is like, you know, I'm Donald Trump or whatever, you know. And I don't think that it's, you know, it's not anything that is malicious, but it's just kind of, you know, grumbly. Is that a word, grumbly? Yeah. Kind of a grumbler. And yeah, I feel like this is adding to maybe kind of the atmosphere, right? The atmosphere of there's conflict with these kids over here. They're on the social medias talking all their smack to one another. And then we got, you know, Uncle whoever over here, angry, grumbling, doesn't like what I cooked for, you know, for holiday meal, or, you know, it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. But you are always the one, right? You're the mediator of the family. And you're the one that's got to go in there. You got to give everybody, you know, room to speak and be heard and come to compromises, and, you know, and it can be tiring, but you're so good at it. And I feel like, you know, when you get into this role, it feels so natural to you. Is it irritating? Do you wish that you could just have a nice, quiet holiday where nothing is a disaster and nobody's upset and there's no arguing, there's no sniping, there's no, you know, showing of the worst injuries, or, you know, whatever. Take a look at this rash, you know. Yeah, of course. But that's just, you know, that's family. Sometimes it's wild, and you're really good at navigating that. So we also have, it looks like, it looks like KR, and this might be initials, KR. Now, we do have a person, it looks like they're on a reindeer almost, right here. And then you can see another one kind of jumping. Look at those long antlers. And we have another person over here, it looks like also on some kind of animal like this. We also have the H over here. It looks almost to me like, and this is maybe my bias, but the alchemical symbol for Saturn. Okay, and we are in the peak of Saturn, right? Right? This is Saturn country. This is night side country. We are in those dark months, buddy. This is where I feel so alive. Really, the energy. There was a show, what is it? True Detective. The last season that they just put out. Night country. Absolutely is the vibe. Where I actually live on the tundra, kind of. I mean, I'm on the plains, but it's like, I think it's, I don't know, maybe 5 degrees right now, but the real feel with the wind chills, yeah, like -20. So very cold, and this kind of bizarro night world that we find ourselves in this time of year, right? It's not just for Halloween when the veil is thinned. No, this is absolutely that time of year where we are walking among ghosts, right? We are in a weird, lawless time, spiritually lawless, it feels like. And so I do feel like there is going to be a moment here where you're gonna have some kind of, I don't know if it's like a paranormal kind of event or high strangeness, or it just all of a sudden it's like you've woken up in this very kind of magical landscape, right? Where strange things are happening. You're noticing patterns and, just these kind of uncanny little things. But it could also be that you're having actual encounters, right? The big thing that comes to mind here is like orbs, seeing lights where there shouldn't be lights, or orbs, or, just kind of a feeling of something being around, right? Here, where I'm at, it's very, like I said, very cold. The wind blows through you. And especially at night, you hear things that sometimes it sounds like you're on a ship. You hear almost like voices on the wind, kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of folklore to the plains, and any kind of open, arid area. But this feeling of being called out into the night, right? Going, like you hear a baby crying out there, way out in the fields, but it's so black and dark and the winds are blowing and you're not sure, is that an animal? Is that the wind? Is there actually a baby out there? And there's kind of this mythology of, going out there, being called out, being compelled to enter that kind of no man's land. And what happens out there, well, it depends on the myth, right? And so I feel you kind of receiving this calling. Now, not to maybe go out in the middle of the night to check to see if there's like a baby animal out there screeching or whatever. But yeah, to go into these places, these unknowns, the mystery, the great awe, right? And I feel you really kind of devoted to this kind of, well, it almost feels like going into like a daydream, or maybe like an active imagination kind of realm, right? A kind of make-believe. But it's not that. It's not you just like sitting around coming up with scenarios. No, you are entering this interior landscape. And really, I feel gaining like a confidence in your exploration, right? Like you're not just some, pilgrim or settler or whatever, just wandering out across the great unknown, hoping for the best, often ill-equipped. No, you're like a scout, right? You've been out there. You've seen the dang thing. You're like a tracker. You're a guide. You're a hunter, a gatherer. You're all the things, right? You know the ins and outs of this place. You are more than prepared. You have the tools that it takes to really go in there and do the work, right? And so I do feel like this is a very spiritual time for you. I almost wonder if you are kind of looking for maybe a spiritual community, maybe a therapeutic community, maybe like returning to some kind of support group or therapy, joining, like I said, some kind of spiritual or religious community, something like this, because I feel like this is where you become fortified. And when you find yourself kind of wandering out into the unknown, I think that, and obviously this is all about balance, that you must be wholly grounded, right, in your waking life. And so supporting that kind of consistency and stability, often, we must find something that really keeps us in a space of, well, I guess like logic, rationality, but also to be impassioned. And really that's where that Two of Wands comes from. To find somewhere that really brings you into that place, right? That devotion, that belovedness. And, you know, it could be that you find that in the forest. You might find that in, you know, Gnostic Mass, or, you know, going to mosque and being part of the community, the social aspects of it. Whatever it is for you, you know, and you might not know yet, but I see you seeking it out. And that's what those reindeers are really about. Not unlike the deer, it is very much kind of an animal of great sacredness, right? And also very much aligned with the winter, right? Or at least in my mind, very much aligned with the winter. And so even if you're in the southern hemisphere, it doesn't matter. This is a feeling of, you know, not unlike going out into the desert, right? And we hear about that in religious speak a lot. These are times when we find ourselves in the wilderness. Now, oftentimes people will say this is when we feel very disconnected from our faith or, you know, our relationship with the divine. But I beg to differ, right? If you find yourself in a place where you feel devoid of anything sacred, you are there to activate it, right? And that's absolutely part of our work, you know. Is finding our way back, is invoking it into our lives. And so probably, in my mind anyways, even more sacred than if we were just in this like lush, overflowing kind of spiritual space, right? Sometimes we have to wander out there into the vast unknown and set up camp, right? So I really do. I think that you are more than ready to be on this spiritual journey. Now, I also see we have a large fish, and we have the number 2. We also have a little house right there. So I do feel like coming up here pretty soon, there's going to be some money coming in that is going to help support your domestic endeavors. So if you have some projects that you're trying to do, if you you know, are trying to move, maybe you are moving in with somebody or somebody's moving out, financially at this moment feels a little shaky, but it's gonna work itself out. That money is going to come in, absolutely. Okay, now over here it looks like we have a person reading a book. We also have a person kind of walking. It looks like walking into the past. Now, we also have a semicolon, and we have, it looks like a dog running. And we have, it looks like sun, S-U-N, sun. So I feel like there's some kind of situation, there's something coming up that is being maybe talked about for the first time in many years. There's a want for peace, but I think that this is part of why everything feels so contentious. It's some old thing that hasn't been worked out or talked about. It's unspoken. It feels like it's kind of, I keep thinking about this as like it's been bricked into a wall. Like whatever this secret is, or this trouble or this conflict or whatever, it has been absolutely hidden. But I feel like it's coming to light here. And it's going to take some going back. But I think that ultimately with this revelation, with this openness, there will be peace. But with the book, I feel like there seems to be maybe this need to like research or figure, like go back and really look at what is actually going on here. What is being said? What is, you know, it's like you have to do your due diligence. But we also have the dog, and it's in this kind of playful posture. So I feel almost like with this thing being exposed and relieved, I feel like it actually kind of brings a lot of like a piece to the tension. I feel like things will kind of dissipate as far as, you know, there being this misalignment. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to do our lucky numbers. Number 41. Number 41. Number 71. 41, 71. 28. Beautiful. All right, Libra, now we're going to finish this reading off with our Wild Offering Oracle cards. These are created by Tasha Silver, and they're very beautiful. I love them. And I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. And it says, impatience. My life is unfolding in divine timing. All delays are beneficial. I'm always at the right place at the right time. I'm always at the right place at the right time. Oh, I'll tell you what, this time of year feels frantic. So I need to employ some of that patience that, that I've been lacking. Absolutely. Libra, I want to tell you I love you, because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like, or wait, no, I already said that. I got all confused. Where am I? Yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I love hearing from you. And I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.